Hello and welcome back to Down the Track, another day of cricket. Some great games over there in the Under 19 World Cup. Outstanding match between Afghanistan and Sri Lanka in the quarterfinals. And then you had the PSL opening game between Multan and Karachi Kings. Let's go with the PSL game first. Multan Sultans beating the Karachi Kings comfortably by 7 wickets. The defending champions really setting the mark again in this tournament, and it was a very dominant and controlled win from ball one. They didn't let Karachi go anywhere. They just kept it tight with the ball, and then with the bat, they rotated the strike and won the game comfortably. I think Karachi, apart from Sharjeel Khan, 43 of 31 balls, there wasn't much there for them. Babar Azam was very slow the way he started, 23 of 29 deliveries, 79.31 strike rate. He was tied down first by the fast bowlers, then the spinners. Imran Tahir was outstanding. This man is a T20 genius, probably one of the best white ball leg spinners to have ever played the game. He's 40 plus now. He's still picking up wickets. It's just unbelievable how he's doing it. It's been like, what, 20 years since he's playing, and he just keeps on picking up wickets characteristically. But he breaks partnerships, and he just keeps going, and it's always a challenge for the batsman to play him. This pitch in Karachi was a bit slow. It was conducive to turn, and I felt that bowling first, it was an advantage slightly because the wicket was a bit sticky, but I still felt that Karachi could have got more runs on the board and put pressure on Multan. 150, 160 on this pitch would have been really good, and that's where you need to read the pitch quickly. And I would have to give Babar Azam that responsibility, because he's not only is he the leading batsman, but he's also the captain. And I think he should have, even if he got out, he should have guided the youngsters and told them what kind of target is to be set. But it happens. This is cricket. One team wins, one team loses, and Mohammad Rizwan's team, what a series, what a year that Mohammad Rizwan has had and is continuing to have now. Again, not out 52 of 47. This man is just scoring 50s after 50s. The run scoring has become so easy for him. And again, another very good innings. According to the situation, he didn't get ahead of himself. He made sure that he rotated the strike, consumed the dot balls when needed, not play any rash strokes, and stay there till the end. It took them 18.2 overs to just chase 125. So it did take a while to chase down the score, but it just showed the pitch wasn't the greatest to bat on, and they didn't want to do anything rash. They didn't want to play any loose shots over there. Wanted to make sure that they got home safely, and that's exactly what happened. So brilliant batting there from Mohammad Rizwan. I felt that he captained really well. The way he shuffled his bowlers, outstanding. He got Imran Tahir late into the attack. I think he was the sixth change, if I'm not mistaken, or fifth change. Sorry. And he was the fifth change, and he picked up 3 wickets. The way he got in Khushdil Shah as well, Khushdil Shah bowled really good for his 2 overs. Ahsanullah as well bowled an over. So the way he rotated his bowlers was outstanding. I felt that David really had a good start to the PSL in Pakistan. And Dahani, man, this guy is really proving that he has a lot of potential. It's difficult to compete in that Pakistani bowling lineup, but I think in a few months' time he will definitely make the Pakistan 11, because he has good pace, very good accuracy. He has a great celebration as well, and a wicket taking knack. So for sure you'll see this guy in the future in Pakistan colours. A lot of potential, there. From also from the batting side from Multan, apart from Rizwan, there was Shan Masood, 26 of 18, played some lovely flicks. Anything on the pads, he's very severe, and he showed that again today. Very good batting by him. And then Shoaib Maqsood, 30 of 31, run a ball. That's all you needed, and he played according to the situation, and that's what was needed, and which was very important from Multan's point of view. I really like the way they approached the chase. They didn't go too hard for that bonus point. They just made sure that, listen, let's get, this is the first game of the season, let's get it over with, and then move on from there. And this will give them a lot of confidence against a very good Karachi team, who have the best batsman in the world, right? Or one of the best batsmen in the world, Babar Azam. He's been in a sensational form. But yeah, today he just didn't get going. Mohammad Nabi as well, strike rate of 58. Although I felt that Nabi bowled really well with the ball, just with the bat, he wasn't, he couldn't provide the fireworks. If you look at the bowling, it was Nabi pick up the bowlers, 3 over, 17 runs, 2 wickets. Mohammad Ilyas picked up a wicket. He was excellent in his 1 over, went for just 2 runs, but wasn't given a chance then. So I think bowling changes weren't as smart for Karachi as compared to Multan, and credit to Mohammad Rizwan there. Russo also didn't step up to the plate for Karachi, and Khushid Shah didn't get a chance to bat. But I feel that a lot is reliant for sorry, not Khushid Shah was playing for Multan, but for Karachi, Louis Gregory batted a bit, and but too much I think is dependent on Babar Azam and Sharjeel. Yes, Mohammad Nabi is there, but he's more of a finisher. Can he play that middle order long innings? That's still yet to be seen. He does bat number 4 in Big Bash, so we've seen that. But I think he has to take the responsibility now, and they'll need him to perform. If Navi performs at number 4, it takes a lot of pressure off Babar Azam. Then you have Louis Gregory, who can hit the big hits as well. Tom Lamboni, but not too impressive. I feel that the middle lower order is a bit shaky, and if Joe Clark and Nabi don't perform, then Karachi do get into a bit of trouble. So they'll have to be a bit careful over there from that side of things. For Multan, I was saying that there was still Khushdil Shah and David Willey to bat, so there is batting over there in that lower order. They can provide the hits, but also a lot will be reliant on the top order, especially Shan Masood and Mohammad Rizwan. Then Soy Maksud and Riley Rousseau also, like, they add depth to that batting. Riley Rousseau used to play for Karachi, but now he's in Multan, and he's really added to the depth and really strengthened this Multan batting lineup. So Multan won't be an easy team to beat, but and an excellent start for them. Karachi, it's still early; they can still come back into this tournament. Babar Azam is a class player, good captain. Let's see how he goes. I felt that today he was out captained by Mohammad Rizwan in terms of bowling changes and everything, and that's something Babar Azam will learn definitely. But yeah, that wraps up this game. Good start to the PSL. Excellent for if you're a Multan fan. For a Karachi fan, not so much. For the neutral, it was a bit low scoring. Probably want to see a bit more excitement there. Even if it's low scoring, you wanted to go to the last over, right? So it was a bit more of a one-sided match. But there's plenty of matches to go, so stay tuned for that. Then we go on to the game of the day. What an excellent match is the Under 19 Cricket World Cup quarterfinal, the second quarterfinal between Afghanistan and Sri Lanka. The winner takes on England, and it was Afghanistan who held their nerve. What a match! I couldn't believe it. I was watching this game alongside the PSL, and Afghanistan was struggling. They just kept losing wickets. There was a rain break. After the rain break, they kept losing wickets, 20 for 4, 30 for 5. And Sri Lanka, it was all one-way traffic in that first innings. If you look at one stage, they were 26 for 4. Then there's a very, very slow partnership rebuild between it was Noor Ahmed, I think, and Abdul Hadi. Even Ala Noor, sorry, he also batted well. But yeah, that partnership took Afghanistan to like around 70, 73. That's where Ala Noor got out. And then in came Noor Ahmed, who was the man of the match. He came and scored 30 runs. But that still took them only to 134. The pick of the bowlers from Sri Lanka, Vinuja Ranpul, what a bowling performance. He picked up a 9.1 overs, 3 maidens, 10 runs, 5 wickets, economy of 1.09. Can you believe that? Probably one of the best spells of this World Cup. He bowled so well. He was beating the bat, got the edges. The outswing was really confusing the batsman. He got some to dip in as well. Excellent. Left-hander, right-hander, there was no issues for him. He was immaculate in his line and length and really, really caused problems for Afghanistan. Fantastic bowling performance from Ranpul, and he was well supported by the captain, Walid Lage. Again, this man has been a great all-rounder in this tournament so far. 10 overs, 36 runs, 3 wickets. Excellent support, and I felt that it was an almost perfect bowling performance from Sri Lanka. Yes, Afghanistan, the tail wagged in the end. The tail, those 30 runs by Noor Ahmed were gold, and in the end, it just shows you in low scoring games anything can happen, especially in knockout matches. When you're chasing, there's always pressure, and if you bowl well, you can always put the chasing team under pressure. And credit to Afghanistan. If you look at that second innings, the way they started off to a flyer, it was 2 for 1, 8 for 2, then 20 for 3, 24 for 4, and 30 for 5, and then 42 for 6. In that, there was some great bowling by Bilal Sami, opening the bowling along with Naveed Zardaran. They both picked up wickets, and Bilal Sami in particular, the way he picked up those first 2 wickets, really good bowling, good line and length, found the edge as well. And also when he wasn't taking wickets, he was very accurate and didn't give any room to the Sri Lankan batsmen. So, at one stage, 42 for 6, it was all Afghanistan. Noor Ahmed came in, picked up a wicket straight away. He was unplayable at the start. He was bowling so well. The spinners, first it was the new ball bowlers. I think that's what's impressive. Whenever you look at Afghanistan, you feel that even in the 2018 Under 19 World Cup, there's Mujib and Zahir Khan, these guys opening the bowling. So they always had spinners in the power play. But here you had the fast bowlers, very traditional approach, but still very effective. And they set the platform for the spinners. I felt the spinners bowled really well. Izarullah Naveed, kind of Rashid Khan type quick leg spinner. Noor Ahmed brings you that left arm angle, and always a wicket taker, bowled really well. And they were well supported by Nangalia. He was more of the left arm orthodox. But yeah, 42 for 6. It was all in Afghanistan's favor. Imagine 134, 135 being chased in a 50 over game. There's 300 balls to score those runs. You can. It was like the required rate was like 2 runs per over. It was, but this is what a World Cup pressure quarterfinal does to you. So at that time, in came Walilaki again. I mentioned, a great all-rounder in this tournament. He bowled really well. Then with the bat, he backed it up. He showed a lot of maturity, soaked up the pressure, didn't flinch even once. Very solid in defense, picked up the singles. Whenever there was an opportunity, he latched onto it. His strike rate was only 55. He scored 34 or 61, but those are valuable runs. In the end, he'll be gutted. The way he played that square cut, it went straight to the fielder. He would be absolutely gutted with that, because the way he was batting along with Raveen De Silva, it was going into Sri Lanka's favor, to be very honest with you. That partnership was almost 70 runs partnership. From out of a tough position, they took Sri Lanka well past 100, and they were inching towards victory. They only needed 23, 24 runs, and they still had 3 wickets in hand, and these guys put on that partnership. They were well settled. Afghanistan, you could see they were getting a bit edgy, because it's been so many overs without a wicket, and just before that they picked up 6 wickets. Suddenly when it's dry, there's no wickets, you do make mistakes, and you saw in the field as well, they made some fielding mistakes there, and it really got Sri Lanka back into the game from that end. And you have to credit Walilage. I felt that he really batted well, and excellent support from Raveen De Silva. He really supported his captain till the end, and it was a great partnership. Almost took Sri Lanka out of a hole, but then again, the wicket of Walilage changed everything. It was Nangalia Kharote. Again, he was bowling those. It was spinning away from the left-hander, but normally the cuts were either going straight to the fielder or away from point. But this went straight to point, and that changed the game. Then in came Izarullah Naveed. He dismissed Raveen De Silva, who was the other set batsman, and again it was Afghanistan's game. In came the last 2 batsmen. Ranpol, who was all man of the match till now, he came and he started batting like a number 3. He was cutting the ball very well and batting well, and it was 5 runs needed, and they just needed 5 runs to win the game. In that over, I think he got a double, and then he hit a 4, and then last 3 balls were the dot, and the last ball he signaled that let's take a run, because he wanted to get strike. He hit the ball. It went straight to the fielder. The non-strike already ran, because he's like, I need to get him on strike. But then he said no. There was a huge mix-up. It went to the bowler's end and run out, and that's it. The Afghanis went wild. The Afghanistan players ecstatic, and they were just running around the ground. Heartbreak for Sri Lanka. They ran to the dugout. All of them were upset. Walilage himself, the captain, it was such a heroic effort from him. But these are the fine margins. I felt that Afghanistan bowled a few extras too many as well. Otherwise, they could have won by a bigger margin, to be honest with you. But in a knockout match, which is low scoring, it's always like that. You do get some extras here. You get some buys, some edges fly. But overall, I think the way Afghanistan bowled, outstanding. Also, the difference is 4 run outs. So Sri Lanka, the pressure got to them. The dot balls got to them. They wanted to rotate the strike. The intention was correct, but the running was not. The running was completely wrong, and the calls weren't clear enough. And there were fine margins. Some of the run outs, except for the last one, it was clear. But it was fine margins, but these fine margins really changed the game. If they were a bit more sensible in terms of running between the wickets, they could have won this game. And that's what pressure does to you, though. When you chase a score in a knockout game, a few wickets go early. You don't know what's happening. You don't want to consume so many dot deliveries. You try to get off strike, and you make a mistake, and boom, you're out. So it's something that Sri Lanka will ponder. A heartbreak for them, but for Afghanistan, what a performance! I felt that Sri Lanka are actually one of the favorites to win this World Cup. Really good batting and bowling performance uh, throughout this tournament, and their captain was the lead. Whether it was the bat or the ball, the way he was performing, even in this game, he was outstanding. But then this is beauty of cricket. Afghanistan, you didn't give up. It was I think it was like stuff you see in the movies, because such a low score. I don't know what kind of speech he gave the Afghanistan captain. Was it a Kabir Khan Chak the India kind of speech? I'm not sure, but that's how they were playing, and very smart captaincy as well. If you just saw the way he was setting the field, he wasn't too desperate. He wasn't ultra attacking, but not defensive either. There was a few men out here and there. There was crowd around the bat, but not too much. I think basically it was cutting those singles. So the fielders in the ring, on the edge of the ring, those guys were very important for the cut shot, and then the flick shot. He was trying to cut the singles, and then apart from that, it was very sensible captaincy. I felt bowling changes was really good. He got Noor Ahmed in. I remember the commentator was saying that, listen, you got him a bit too early, should have got him a bit later, saved him till the end, give him one over, and then bring him back for two when the new tailenders come. But it was good aggressive captaincy there. Winner in the house, what a game. Crucial run out cost them the game. Yes, 4 run outs. Including the last one was crucial. It was Sri Lanka's game to lose. Last batsman plays as opener for a school team. Imagine the lineup Sri Lanka has. Yeah, exactly. I heard that in commentary that he plays as opener in his school team. I think Russell Arnold was saying that, and I was very impressed the way he was batting. And he's the same guy who picked up 5 wickets in the match. So outstanding talent is Ranpul. Really good with the ball, and then with the bat, he looked very comfortable. If it wasn't for that run out, I think he would have won the game. It was Sri Lanka's game to lose, but you have to give credit to Afghanistan. I think they showed character, and they caused those runouts. There were mistakes, but those mistakes happen when you block the singles, you block the gaps, you don't let the boundaries come easy. That's when you make them make these mistakes and run out. So at the end of the day, yes, it's Sri Lanka's mistake, but Afghanistan are the ones who induced that mistake, and you have to give them credit the way they played outstanding cricket. But Sri Lanka, I do feel for them, because I really felt that they're one of the best teams in this tournament. Just under pressure, they kind of collapsed, but I think they were one of the best teams. Wale Lage was one of the best all-rounders, if not the best all-rounder in this tournament. He was very impressive, and I really liked his character. He might not be like the most talented guy, but when it comes to buckling down and really having a solid defense, rotating the strike, getting boundaries when needed, he had that. Then with the ball, always picked up wickets, whether it was a 5 for previously or 3 wickets in this game. Fielding won them the game. Yeah, absolutely. Direct throw as well. Some of those runs are very close. So if it wasn't a direct hit, there won't be runouts, and accurate throws in general. Fielding did win them the game, and that's what it is. Fielding and bowling, right? It's a partnership between both. You set the right field, you bowl in the right areas, you bowl towards your field, and you get the rewards. And my co-host is joining me.
I am so sorry. Thoda delay ho gaya.
No worries, man. I was just talking about the Afghanistan. I just covered the PSL game, and then the game of the day, which is Afghanistan versus Sri Lanka. Man,
why 4 runouts though? 4 runouts. What is that performance like? That running between the wickets is so poor.
Vinay said that in the comments, run out costing, but I was saying those runouts were induced by excellent bowling, immaculate.
Good bowling.
It was Noor Ahmed, the left arm leg spinner. He was outstanding. They didn't know what was happening in between the way he was bowling, and it induced that pressure, right? And then they made those mistakes. Some of them were very good direct throws as well. Apart from the last one was terrible running, but
shocking.
But there was some really good direct throws, but that's what pressure does to you, right? He wanted to get the main guy on strike. He went for it. The main guy didn't call. He called too late, and it was all over. I even saw him signal that we need to run. So the non-striker it was in his head that I'm going to run.
What more can you expect from a number 11 as well? So that's the issue as well.
But the number 10 who was batting with him, even when he mentioned that he opened batting for his school. So
he knows what's up. Rasoon was his name. He bowled well too.
Picked up 5 wickets. Yeah. He was outstanding, and he could have won in the game, man. But it's a pressure match, right? In a pressure match, these things happen. Low scoring. That's where you have to give credit to Afghanistan.
Absolutely.
Fielding,
fantastic.
Captaincy was outstanding.
The senior team has laid a platform for these youngsters to come in. Even in the last Under-19 World Cup, they did well. They reached the semi-finals and lost in the semis 4 years ago. And now again, 2016 was it?
Mujib and Zahir Khan and these guys were there.
Yes, Mujib was there. Yeah. So there's no lack of spin bowling options. Rashid Khan is not needed anymore.
I was expecting you to message me and say this guy's the replacement. There was Izranullah. He bowled the
The
Rashid.
Noor
Right?
Ahmed is
Noor
that
is the
left
left
arm,
arm.
left arm.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
the left arm. He's more the Kuldeep Yadav, and this guy was the more right arm Rashid Khan type.
I like left arm Chinamen. If they can get it right, I think that they're a lot more effective. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but
When I was saying low scoring games are always the best, one thing was Sri Lanka played very defensive. Any comments? I felt that both teams were very defensive in the batting. Batting was horrendous from both teams. Defensive, because if you see Afghanistan, right, when they were 20 for 4, there was a partnership which went to 73 from 24, but that partnership took 20 overs. So
yeah, yeah.
if you see, Afghanistan got all out also, but in the 40 something over, they took a lot of time. So I think both approaches defensive. I think that tells you that pitch was slow. It wasn't easy to bat on, but it also tells you bowling was really good and batting just did not perform. There was not even one player there like who could play that innings. But also it shows that bowling and fielding was very tight and very accurate in that sense.
Absolutely. I think fantastic, to be able to play a performance like that for an under 19 team, to get into that kind of pressure and, keep your pressure in check and come out with a kind of a performance with winning in 3-4 runs. And a 4 happened with in that Naveed over. There was a beautiful shot, he hit it offside 4, only 5 runs to win. You're already starting to like think, I mean, but then they keep their nerve and not lose their mind. And then even the throw was not the most accurate throw, but Naveed kind of just throwing it properly. Those we've seen Nathan Leon was from there, who's an player from of a much higher caliber, with due respect to Naveed as well. So things like that have happened. So for him to actually go in that pressure situation and get that, fantastic. It's just good to see that even youngsters are standing up to that pressure very well.
Yeah, and they were very patient. You could tell that they weren't. Of course, there was times when they were edgy. There were some misfields because that Wele Lage, he's been the all-rounder of the tournament for me. He really put the pressure on them with the bat. He soaked up the pressure and then transformed that into deflecting it onto Afghanistan. And you could see them a bit edgy, but still they knew they were 1 wicket away, 1 wicket,
Yeah.
and then into the tail, and they were very confident. So I really like that they didn't fluster too much. You see, especially subcontinent teams, they panic in
Yeah.
these situations,
Yeah.
and which is very natural. We do get edge of our seats kind of stuff. We start saying give the ball here, give the ball there, but I think the captain was very calm in that situation. They did have discussions, but they knew they're very sensible about it. At these times that run out might have not been a run out if they weren't thinking straight. They knew
Yeah.
exactly what they were doing, and I think they were also proud that they were fighting this way, defending 134. Vinay Singh, I feel it's the coaching setup. A lot of these under 19 teams have that in them. Is that strategy or nerves? uh, if you're talking about the batting, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you're talking about the batting or the way they fielded and bowled, but if you talk about the batting, it could be the coaching, but there's Jarwadene there in the Sri Lankan team, so he would be freaking pissed off the way they bat.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
but there is patience there as well. It's like you could say that 140 all out in 20 overs is just stupid batting. There's no patience, but there was patience. So it could be also that the pitch was tough, right? Don, it can't just be
Yeah. No,
they bat.
absolutely. Definitely.
It was tough as well.
Definitely, I think even it was a little bit better against in the South Africa game, but it was still a 200-run score over there as well. But then fantastic batting by that England batsman. I forget his name.
Bethel.
Bethel, fantastic. He just
remember
made
hell.
it. Yeah.
That's what
he gave
he's
South
saying.
Africans hell. That's what
Yeah,
he did.
he's saying, see how England batted yesterday. The opener gave an aggressive start, helps the team set the momentum. That's very true. But if you saw South Africa, you had Brevis who was smashing it as well, but there was no support.
Yeah.
So you need that support also, right? And I think as well, the bowling spin, playing spin, and even the fast bowling that these subcontinent teams are providing right now, it is challenging. So this Afghanistan-England game will be interesting. But yeah, Don,
for sure. No, I agree. I think that it is challenging in these situations, and these knockout games are very difficult to deal with. And it's just good to see like a 50-over game going to the wire like that, with that kind of emotions and stuff like that. 50 overs is. Exactly, and then to be able to defend 130 in 50 overs and take it till I think they were 46th over or something when they got out. So it's fantastic to see that. Just kind of that pressure from the bowling unit, the fielding unit to keep it up. And I think Sri Lanka should have done better. I think they started the game off well. They were on the upper hand after getting them 134 all out. They should have just gone out in the first few overs and just been a little bit more aggressive. I think too passive. I think they were just too passive, and that didn't help. The other thing I wanted to say, is that I chose South Africa and Sri Lanka to win these two quarterfinals, and England and Afghanistan have done it. So that means Australia and Bangladesh are going to win the next two, right? Because I chose Pakistan and India.
Yeah, I still think it's going to be India Pakistan. I don't know
It
why.
better be. I can't go wrong 100%.
But a lot of people are saying Bangladesh are favorites going to that game because they beat India, and the Rakibul, their captain, is still there. But I just feel that I saw Bangladesh play against England. Either England's really improved the game and really following that white ball senior team format template, or Bangladesh have kind of take the foot off the gas. And I just feel that if India get the captain
and the under 19 team people who were there 4 years back are not the same players here, so it's a very
it's 2
different
years
situation.
difference this time, right?
Oh yeah, it is 2019.
So
Would
the
they
captain
play?
is still there. He
Yeah.
wasn't captain
He was
at that
playing.
time,
Yeah,
but he was playing.
True.
Yeah, I think
India will win that one. Pakistan and Australia might be a little bit more tricky because Pakistan's batting is. But I think Pakistan are good players of spin, so it's going to be interesting to see how that kind of plays.
That's what I'm saying. I think Pakistan, their batting is a bit iffy, but their bowling is really strong.
They have that left arm spinner, right? What's his name? That Rajan. What is it? Almost every team has a player of the subcontinent descent. Descent, and they even yesterday you saw that
Ahmed. From Australia, right?
Yeah.
They even have a Harbhajan Singh type bowler as well.
Yeah. I can't remember, but he's the guy who wants to bowl left arm and right arm together.
Was it called ambidextrous?
I can't remember his name, but either way, but I think Radhakrishnan, yes, correct. So they all these players, all these English players, Australian players have these subcontinent descent players that are picking up wickets with spin for them. So good on them, and good on these youngsters as well. Nice to see that more of these kind of players are coming through the ranks.
Absolutely. Vin is saying, especially in low-scoring games, you need someone to put their hand up with the bat. I think I agree with that. It's just that the pressure really got to them, and the captain did put their hand up, but by the time it was a bit too late. And also that shot he hit, he'd be kicking himself, man. He played that shot beautifully the whole game. It was either on the ground or into the gap. He hits that cut straight into Point's hands, and
I don't want to compare though, but I think it's a matter of nerves at that time as well, right? Sometimes even in the senior level, you see someone like a Deepak Chahar with 10 runs to go tries to go for the fancy and gets out, and then India wasn't able to cross the line in that South Africa game on the third game, So if someone like a 29, 27, 28-year-old is also struggling with that, I don't blame that guy. Although I think he should have done better with that, and it went straight to Point. Sometimes there's a matter of luck also. Sometimes
he feels hard done, but after doing all that, he just. And honestly, these kids, the way they're playing, it looks like professional, man. You have to give it to them. It looks like they're playing like a proper level of cricket, and it's exciting because of course they're playing in the same age group, so that makes it a bit more exciting. But it looks proper cricket. Fielding has been really good in this tournament, bowling, batting, and of course there's going to be mistakes, man. They're kids. They're 18. You have to realize that they're still going to learn. They're going to learn in these pressure situations how to get out of that shell. Like you said, even Vinay said in the comments that they did get into a shell and they never looked back after that. 30 for 5, it becomes difficult even if you're chasing 130. So I think they will learn from that. The opening batsman, they'll learn to communicate. One guy will say, listen, I'll just see off the bowling, you and go and hit and try to get some quick runs. So I think they will learn from this, and they're only 17, 18, and I think there's a long way to go.
For sure. Looking forward to more from these guys, hopefully in the future as well.
Yeah, so there's England and what's it called? England-Afghanistan semi-final. That's going to be a lot of fun. It was Australia-Afghanistan back in 2018, 2 World Cups ago. Now it's England-Afghanistan. Then you have either Bangladesh-Australia or Australia-India or Bangladesh-Pakistan or India-Pakistan.
4 different scenarios that can happen.
So the Pakistan versus Australia game, we kind of discussed it. It's going to be a fun game. Pakistan's openers are really good. Their opening batsmen are really good. Middle order, lower order kind of struggle. So they'll have to be a bit careful that even if they do get a start, the middle order needs to capitalize. And Australia, they lost against Sri Lanka. So there is issues with spin over there. Again, in that game, I remember Lage took 5 wickets. So they have to be a bit careful, do Australia against in the middle over. So that'll be a good game. India Bangladesh, we'll see what happens on Saturday. But Don, that wraps up the under 19 game as well. The India T20 and one day squad selection. Your thoughts?
Some surprises there for sure. I mean, it's good to see that Virat's playing both as a pure batsman only. There was a lot of discussion that he might be taking a break and stuff like that. It was just good to see that has all been quashed. very good to see Rohit Sharma come back. Because I think at this point in time, I said it in the previous podcast as well, I just need someone like a calm nature to really smooth those tides at this point in time. But some surprises in terms of, I don't want to say surprises, but Kuldeep Yadav coming in is somewhat like came out of nowhere, because I do agree that Kuldeep is a good bowler and stuff like that. But I think I didn't understand the trust that was shown in like a Varun Chakravarti, Ravi Ashwin. I understand Ravi Ashwin's like injured, but you showed your trust and you went in to big tournaments. You're picking up these kind of bowlers, and then you just leave them to the dead at this point in time, and then you try newer players. So there's some inconsistencies over there. I think there's this confusion over there in terms of the selection policies. I hope that Varun Chakravarti was talked to and explained the reason he's been dropped or whatever. Because I think communication has been one of the problems. BCCI has been going through a lot of turmoil at this point in time in terms of their questions about their sketchy decisions, and everything is being leaked in the media just so easily. Everything is available to the public
I
three
didn't
four
like
days
that part,
before.
man. I didn't
Exactly.
like that part. Like, you come when you team selection, you come in front of the press conference, just announce the team and then bounce. Why are you leaking names and then coming after? Like, I was watching on like India Today and even I think NDTV. They already had the names before. They knew that Kuldeep Yadav will come in one for. They didn't know exactly, but they knew Kuldeep Yadav will come back.
And
Uh,
there was a lot of talk about Rohit Sharma's situation, Ravindra Jadeja. There was just too much term. It's just not needed. These kind of
and
things are just not
and also
needed.
at that time when Srikanth used to come, he's probably like pissed off. He's like, yo, when I was selected, there's so many tough questions, mice were shoved in my face, and now it's like they're just announcing and
I think
bouncing this.
Srikanth was very, very good selector, though. I think he
Yeah,
was underrated in
there's
his time.
accountability, right? Like, you could ask him, like, why did you do this, and he would give you the answer, whether you agreed with it or not. At least it's accountability, and that's one thing that is very frustrating. That you're not coming out in the open and like having a proper face to face with the media. At least you get questioned. If you don't like the question, whatever, it's fine. Like, even Srikanth, once he even told one media guy to shut up, and Srikanth's not that type of guy, but he did, right? So it
Yeah.
happens, but at least there is accountability, there's some explanation, there's less questions to be asked. And now I don't know what it is. You have Ruturaj in the one day squad. He was in the one day squad in South Africa. I think he will be.
Venkatesh Iyer was in the one day
Venkatesh,
squad. He played 2 games and he didn't bowl in the one game. And now suddenly he's dropped. And you're going to go with Deepak Chahar and Shardul Thakur as your number 7. Now, what are you going to do? Like, who's your all rounder? That suddenly, because Akshar Patel is there, Indian conditions, there's a change of thinking there. You're not giving consistent time to players to prove themselves and make them mainstay. How do you think a Rohit Sharma became a Rohit Sharma or a Virat Kohli became a Virat Kohli? Because Dhoni gave them the time when they failed initially. He gave them the time to settle down, gel in, and get that position and make it his own. And if that's not going to happen, if you keep doing these inconsistent things, this was a problem that I had with Virat Kohli, but now I'm starting to think: is Virat really the reason of those kind of chopping and
yeah,
changing back in the day?
that's what I was
It
going to
might
ask you.
not be. It might not be. It might not be him. We always used to. It was very easy for us to criticize him. Oh, he doesn't give chance to the youngsters. Maybe he was getting pressure, and that's why he's tired and he's given up now. He's like, you, Rohit Sharma can figure it out. Whoever for that matter.
Yeah,
So a lot of things need to change with the BCCI.
I was very surprised because new captain, new coach, and Rahul Dravid has said that we're going to give them a long rope, and he did that with Pujara and Rahane. But that time Kohli was captain. Here Rohit is captain, and they've gone back to the chopping and changing, which was under the reign of Ravi and Kohli. That's what used to happen. There's a couple of questions. Puneet is saying there's a controversy going on that Rohit comes and plays with weak teams and makes centuries and then skips big games due to injuries. Your thought?
उसका injury का
Oh, yes,
timing.
against weak teams. Yeah. The punter is getting this from our other friend Ashish. Has been saying this a lot. So
I think his injuries. I don't think he's intentionally getting injured. I don't. I mean, there is a school of thought behind it. I've heard this too. But I think that's a little bit harsh on Rohit Sharma, because I think he's a fantastic player, and it's not that he hasn't performed against the better teams. He's done pretty well against bigger teams and better teams as well. Be it Australia, be it South Africa. Of course, he missed this specific test series, but obviously you can't time your injury. You can't decide कि ऐसा चलो अभी England जाना है नहीं अभी injured कर दे. You can't. I don't
the
think you can do
problem is
that.
not fit. I don't think the problem is about weak teams, because if you remember, he was injured before that Australia tour. He came, he did quarantine and everything, and then I think the third test match he came
He
and
injured
he
again.
batted pretty well in the.
Yeah.
Apart from the stupid shots, pull shots that he was hitting, he batted really, really well. So he does take a challenge. He wants to play Test cricket. Unfortunately, he's not fit enough. He has to drop some weight. He needs to work on his fitness. I think that is the criticism.
Absolutely, 100%, bro. If you're hitting 35, I understand. I mean, I can't compare myself because I'm younger than that, but I have body pains from head to toe, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, at some point your body is going to give up. I'm just saying, like, at some point your body is going to give up, and if you don't keep it at the kind of fitness that someone like a Virat does, because he's focused on his fitness, but I don't think Rohit Sharma is as focused. Rohit Sharma is focused. Yes, he'll do his bare minimum. He's fit. He knows he has talent.
Yeah, he's not as dedicated as Virat Kohli, and that
is
the problem.
Fitness. Yeah, in terms of fitness.
But
he's more talented than Virat. That's what helps him.
Yeah, he's more talented than Virat, and that's why he's there. I think, who is it? Someone said also that Rohit Sharma is the best batsman in the Indian team currently. I forgot. I was watching. Harbhajan said that? Yeah, I'm watching too many interviews. But Ravi Shastri also said in his interview that Rohit Sharma is extremely laid back.
Yeah.
But he didn't say it in a bad way. He just said he's extremely laid back.
Sugun ka hai bata. Sugun mein bhai chill karta hai. Yeah.
But yeah, I think, look, at the end of the day, if you're such a big player, you need to be fit in these series. Whether it's a South Africa Test series, Rohit Sharma opening the batting makes a big difference. Elgar plays those things, so does Rohit Sharma. I feel he makes a big difference in that thing. Okay, he's not there in the one-day series. It's okay. You lose the series, it's fine. But big series, it's not. Even if it's a small series, the man needs to be fit, and because he's going to be India captain for the T20 and 50 over World Cup, which is the next two targets, and it's coming up very soon. Yeah. And I understand he's aging, but Owen Morgan is 37. And he's been captaining for a long time. So he was 34 when he led England to World Cup glory. 34, that's Rohit Sharma's age.
34, yeah.
That's Rohit Sharma's age. And we never talked about Owen Morgan's age. It's about fitness. It's not about age.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And unfortunately, it's happened in the past, but I think now he has to work on that and probably learn from Virat Kohli in terms of fitness. But he's a great captain, great player. Hopefully he does stay fit. For Indian cricket, you need him because he's a shrewd captain as well.
Absolutely, 100%. No doubt.
What are your thoughts on Deepak Huda making the team out of nowhere?
Oh yeah, man, that was also surprised. But apparently, and due respect, sometimes these names are names that scar you because he's never performed for Sunrisers. He scarred me, but he's been consistent in the domestic circuit. To be very honest, after that fight that he had with Krunal Pandya, he's really turned things around in terms of his batting. Even Punjab, he got pissed off, remember? But even for Punjab, if you notice when he came in at 3 and 4, he was batting well. Yes, he had some bad games, but you can't expect anyone in the IPL to have consistent 10-15 good games unless you're a Virat Kohli who can do it for 900 runs in that 2016 year or whatever. But, I think it's good that they're giving chance, but till what extent are you going to go to find this all-round options where you're going to try and test a player? How long do you think Deepak Huda is going to give you? Try someone younger, because he's 31, 32. You're going to say him again, 2 saal ke baad you're going to say, "Arey, fitness, injury, this, that," again, same thing. Try someone younger, I don't want to take anything away from Deepak Huda. If you perform, you should be given a chance. Similar thing happened to Ambati Raidu. You went for a Vijay Shankar, it didn't work out, but I think it's a better choice to go for a youngster and groom him and give him about 8-10 years of cricket that is left in him. Deepak Huda doesn't have that much time, I think. So that is my thing. But good for him. He's performed. He's getting a chance. I was extremely shocked by that name when it came out. I had to read it 2 times too. Deepak Huda, really. But it's good for him if he's performed.
Yeah, I think also, we've seen from the South Africa series, IPL and the IPL success doesn't translate into a thing. You have to give them time. I'm not saying Venkatesh Iyer can only perform in IPL. He can also perform for India, but it will take him time. You cannot expect.
And positioning ka bhi problem hai na. He opens in the IPL for a 20-over game, and now you're asking him to number 6. He'll take some time.
He's going to struggle initially. You saw Rishabh Pant. He's 24 now, and he scored I think his best year was last year, right? 2021. Yeah. But he's been playing since 2017-18. He's been playing for India. So, on and off. And he's not really... He didn't do something crazy in his first year. It's now after 2-3 years that he's done something. It takes time. You can't translate IPL success immediately into international success.
And that's why you should give people like a Venkatesh Iyer a more lengthy run.
Because these are the series. Even Gaikwad, I was never in favor of Gaikwad playing T20 World Cup. Till this day, if you tell me he should have played instead of Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul, I'll say no way, right? Yeah, even Ishan Kishan deserved more chance. There's no way Gaikwad should have played the T20 World Cup, in my opinion, and he wasn't selected. But now you select him.
Yeah.
I'm
He's
not.
been knocking on the doors consistently. He had an
Yeah.
excellent, what is that trophy that they have, the domestic cup, that trophy. He scored century after century. You do that, you get a chance. You have IPL behind you. You have domestic success behind you. You get a chance. But you still won't make it because Rohit and KL are still your top two. And Shikhar in the one days. You still have to wait, and if they get injured or something, that's when you come in and then you make the most of your opportunity.
Now, what about this template, especially in T20 cricket? I'll just talk about that because that's the first World Cup coming. We saw West Indies and England yesterday. They're smashing sixes all over the park. It's a good wicket to bat on, but you'll find pitches like that in Australia. Maybe the ground will be bigger, but you'll find some good pitches to bat on. And if teams play like that, how will India perform? Because in India, India in general, they like to soak up the pressure, keep wickets in hand, and attack in the end. How will the template change? Will you see Ishan Kishan opening the batting? Will you see Rishabh Pant up to order? How do you like to see India play under Rohit Sharma going into the World Cup?
See, I think we give less credit to Rohit and KL. I think they are equally capable of doing something like that. I think KL, especially if he's not, I don't think KL should be captain.
No, but do you think they should do that? Because
100%, there's no doubt about it. 200 मारना है भैया, नहीं तो नहीं होगा कुछ भी.
No, but then it's about mindset, right? They're capable of doing, but they don't do it. Not because they're not capable. They don't do it because in a big game they feel that, listen, we need to be there till the end. That's
and
how they
big game ka pressure and all then adds up, because this is a bilateral one game in the third game of a 5-game series. There is not, you won't see that kind of hitting, but you will see. I think that the pressure should be on from ball 1, 100%.
But also, it's the middle order has not performed for India in any format.
Yeah.
So that's also running to their mind. So it's not just they're like, of course they have the ability, but their mindset is not just because we want to save our wicket. It's because the middle order has not performed.
Agreed.
Like, you don't have what's his name, man, Akil Hussain coming and hitting sixes at number 10. You don't have a Phil Salt coming out of nowhere. So it's also
agreed that is true. But then you have to trust your top 5. No, you are very, very capable batsmen in Rohit, KL, Virat, Surya Kumar and Pant. These are your top 5, boss. You trust them. One of एक या दो का लगा तो खत्म. You have that 180 score, and then you're good to go. And then you trust your bowlers. And that's why the likes of Hardik Pandya need to come back, or the likes of Venkatesh Iyer need to step up a notch, so that 6-7 finishing overs also are good. Washington Sundar has a fantastic opportunity here to cement his place in this ODI side now, because Akshar Patel is looked out only at in Indian conditions. Outside he struggles, but if you can get a Washington Sundar to really come and do that finisher's role. Plus, he's a floater. He can also go up the order if need be. And then, finish a role. Plus, he gives you 2-3 overs with the ball. He's a very handy player. I think he should be looked at as well. But you stick with one player. Venkatesh Iyer, Rendo, you have Sundar, Rendo. You stick with him. Unless they're injured, please play him 8-10 games. Doesn't perform 8-10 games, kick him out. Understandable. 2 games you play. 1 game you didn't bowl him. The other game of course, in that pressure situation, you come in, you expect Venkatesh Iyer to perform. It's hard.
Yeah. Vinay Singh play Rahul 2 down. I think he wants to see Gaikwad open the innings. But then Shikhar Dhawan questions, why can't he open the...
Shikhar Dhawan only one-day player. He can't play T20s now. I think there's no place for... How many people are you going to keep playing in that position? There's a lot of competition for opening slots. And I think with due respect to Shikhar, I think Rituraj is in more form.
Unfortunately, we live in a world though that if you pick Shikhar Dhawan, you'll say, and he doesn't perform, you'll say he's too old. Why did you pick him? If you pick Rituraj, he doesn't perform, you'll say Shikhar Dhawan in the IPL. Why he's too young? Why are you? So unfortunately, we live in that kind of world, and that is where the coach and captain have to just pick a style how they want to play, and they have to go with that. You want to have a blend, you have a blend. You want to go with youngsters. MS Dhoni took Joginder Sharma and won the World Cup. It's just.
Those were different times. You can't compare it, but that's the thing.
Just having confidence in your players, you can go and you can do it. And honestly, you need luck on your side. I don't think that was the full tactical masterclass. There was 100%. Individual
100% Misbah luck. Thank you very much. That's all you can really say.
Yuvraj also hitting the 6-6s, and there's a lot of individual brilliance there as well. But you just have to have a style and you go with that. But what did Dhoni do after that? Dhoni kicked out all these legends.
Yeah, true.
I'm sorry if I'm saying it directly, but
no, it's true. That's what happened. No, Dravid went first. Saurav Ganguly, VVS Lakshman, all these guys slowly went. The only one who probably stayed around was Sachin, because Sachin had a little bit of a more bigger thing.
He's not that popular with the legends, but it doesn't matter. No one is questioning him.
कोई भी
Right
कर
now,
भी नहीं सकता because he won you
only
everything. He won you T20 World Cup, he won you Champions Trophy, he won you 50 over World Cup, he won you whatever, be it. So be it. Only test me he didn't do well. That he didn't do as well, but that is doesn't matter because he gave you successes and
yeah,
he gave you those shiny trophies. Problem with Virat is he's not giving you those shiny trophies. Nusle to butta bada avara.
yeah, it's 100%. But yeah, I think Don wraps it up. Do you have any questions?
No, I'm good. I'm just waiting for to see how this West Indies team comes to India and those good pitches. And man, these guys are a danger. It's going to be a fun series to watch.
Yeah, I think
And the first two games, especially because that is before the IPL contract, fresh memories. Preeti Zinta going in for a few people extra couple crores. Who knows?
it's crazy how it influences by
If
like
you're going to
very.
play on Friday, on Saturday when you see the newspaper, 100 by Powell, and then you're going into, by you're sitting in the car and you're going, reading newspaper and you're going in, see, mind mein automatically aata, kutta bhi kar lo, it's going to happen.
I'll just say one thing: if the IPL is anywhere but the UAE, put millions on West Indies players. If it's in the UAE,
100%.
don't spend.
100%. But the problem is you won't know. There's only proposals now. South Africa has given a proposal. They want to keep it in India. UAE will come with a better proposal because UAE wants people to come to them. The biggest money making business is to get these kind of tournaments so they get people in. They'll tell, okay, we'll prepare fast pitches for you and give you a better proposal because UAE is capable of doing that. So you don't know. And you have to base a team on different kinds of conditions, I guess. And that's going to be
Yeah,
the challenge for these IPL sides.
yeah. I think there's one a very close journalist. He's a very big journalist. Sorry, yeah, I forgot his name, but he was basically saying that South Africa should get the IPL over UAE because of the conditions.
I
There'll be
agree.
more stadiums, the pitches will be more fresh, the grounds are scenic as well. But the only thing I think in South Africa will be very cold, man. It'll be close to their winter time, I think. So
March, April, yeah.
Gilchrist was wearing those heavy sweaters in the finals. So
Yeah.
I think it's the only problem. It'll rain as well. Dubai, you'll get the best thing about Dubai. It doesn't rain. Of
Weather.
course, you get worn out and
But
everything.
it's going to be so hot in Dubai. That is also going to be a problem.
Yeah, and it'll be
You just imagine April, May in Dubai. That's going to be hard.
that's gonna be tough. Yeah, and the pitches will crack. There'll be more cracks. I think
Crack up fast.
especially
It's
if you
a.
have day games.
It's very difficult. It's very difficult. The best thing to do would be to play it in 7-8 venues so that the pitches are fresher. But it's
It's
never. I don't
impossible
think it's
in
going to
India
happen.
if you have the third wave in India. You can't play on 7-8 venues because
I
last time
don't.
you tried playing in 3 or 4 venues and you had to close down.
I'm just hoping that this IPA this pandemic situation is resolved by end of March, April. Bole to abhi time hai. I'm hoping that things start to settle down a little bit by then.
Yeah,
Let's
hopefully,
see.
yeah.
If everyone's vaccinated, I think you have to start looking at a life after this pandemic. Also, you can't keep forever. With due respect, I completely understand, but I think you have to start to find ways to work around it. That's my thing.
But the thing is, yeah, you just need the cases to subside because if everyone's positive, they're not gonna play, right?
But peak abhi hai na, so hopefully in the next month or so, cases will start subsiding.
Just to before you go, Vin is asking any thoughts on Rizzi's captaincy today.
Whose captaincy?
Rizzi, Muhammad Rizwan.
Mohammad Rizwan. Mohammad Rizwan, behind he's slowing the pitch down fully. Karachi was just not able to get going. Mohammad
He's doing mind games with Babar Azam, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Babar Azam looked completely out of sorts. And for a player who's had a fantastic year, he's ICC player of the year, whatever, this, that, everything. And suddenly he's not able to time the ball at all. 23 of 29. Luckily, Sharjil was able to get that going. He's had a good innings. नहीं तो और मुश्किल हो जाती थी उन लोगों को. But yeah, Mohammad Rizwan,
I think the approach,
mind
that's
is
something
there.
that is critical. That's something that Babar Azam just needs to be a bit careful of the approach because he does sometimes.
I think he takes too much pressure in this against these. I don't know if it's the owners that put a little bit extra pressure on him or I don't know what it is. But I've always seen, again, in Karachi's colours, he's not the same. Pakistan colours is a very different player, I think, personally.
He does score runs for Karachi, but then they don't translate always into victory. Sometimes he has those losing.
And
80s.
even that, you say in the semi-finals also, right? When he gets a little frustrated early, I think he needs to be a little bit more calm.
Even I saw when he was captain against Australia, he was losing.
Yeah, he was getting very angry. I think that that kind of translates onto your team very quickly.
Especially when
Captain
you're a
is in
quiet guy
tension.
and you're getting angry, it becomes a bit more scary. If you always shouting like Sarfaraz, I don't think anyone cares, right? But
Yeah.
when you're quiet and you get angry, it's thing. And I think Rizwan is very calm in that situation. He's 2 years older as well, close to his 30s, but that man is in the form of his life. Whatever he's touching is turning to gold. He's turning into an MS Dhoni type. But especially,
Okay, I think they should give a little bit more credit to MS. I think there's a long way to go before he reaches MS, but yes, definitely, he's a poor man's MS Dhoni. We can call him that for now.
I mean, yeah, like he's not captain as well. So I mean, of Pakistan, but I think the way he's batting, I'm really impressed with that captaincy. Of course, that will come. I think today he was very good and captain as well. But still, time will tell. I think he's already won a PSL championship, and I don't know. He's older to Babar Azam, so I don't think he'll get the Pakistani captaincy anytime soon.
Yeah, true. One other thing I want to say is Mahendra Singh Dhoni has reached Chennai. Their strategies have started. Where are the other teams? What are they doing?
Already?
Time hai uske paas. He doesn't have any other commitments, I guess. So
yeah, so Sunrisers are doing Zoom calls.
Zoom calls.
Yeah, they're doing Zoom calls in different time zones. Some people are having the breakfast, Brian Lara, and some people are just.
Why is Brian Lara in America?
I don't know. He chills there, man. I saw him in Toronto also, chilling.
I should talk to him, call him a little bit. Come home for dinner.
But yeah, let's see how that goes. We'll discuss the IPL and stuff that's coming soon. The Under-19 World Cup that's currently happening and the PSL. But Don, thank you so much for your time and keep those auctions. What's it called? Auction planning ready.
Oh, I hope so. Yes.
Take care, man. Have a good one.
Chalo, take care.